Welcome back, dear listeners, to the Beard and the Bowtie, where curiosity meets conversation and no topic is off limits. I'm Jeremy, the Beard, and today we're diving into something that affects all of us. Do you have anything to go out on?
Yeah, I was like, this is going to be a terrible, terrible episode talking about electronics. I was like, this is going to be so boring. And now I just can't stop thinking about, oh shit, everything I do involves electronics and how do I get rid of it? So thank you.
Doom scrolled your life.
Yes, thank you for destroying everything there.
That's right. Today's episode is all about balancing tech and life. How to maintain a healthy relationship with our devices, avoid burnout, and maybe even find joy in those screen-free moments. Sit back, pour a drink, and unplug. You've dialed into the Beard and the Bowtie. The Beard and the Bowtie.
Nope. The bow tie and the beard.
The Beard and the Bowtie. Okay. So what do you got? It's Jay's special bonus episode.
Oh, it is? Is this episode 6.5?
You've had this prepared for weeks.
Yeah, episode 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what do you got? What are you bringing to us?
I got nothing. Why don't you give me a hint on what this thing is? Give me a hint.
I already have. I already threw the word apropos at you this afternoon, I guess, technically.
Oh, so we're going back to this when we're talking about vocabularies?
Oh.
Etymologies of words?
Yeah, that is exactly wrong. As expected from the bow tie.
Well, you just throw apropos at me, and it's like, okay.
Well, what were you doing when I said that?
Just checking my iPad.
Exactly.
Oh, we're talking about Apple Intelligence. The new iPhone 16 Pro Max Plus 17. How it all came out yesterday.
Did you add it together? The 16
I don't know
plus
what's
17?
happening.
Like,
yeah, the 16, the 33, 4, 37. The iPhone 61. Is that what are we talking about then?
Oh my god. I mean, you're close. We are talking about that. What else are we talking about?
So we're talking about iPhone 61 with the Apple Intelligence. Give me another hint.
I feel like you got all the hints you need.
Something besides a single word.
You're looking at one right now.
Cameras?
Sure.
Teleprompters?
Sure.
Screens?
Definitely.
We're going to talk about football?
No.
You said screens.
Lulz.
Yeah. So
you got sports ball on me.
I got you. Yep. Okay. Yeah, no, I give up. Go for it. What is it?
Why don't you give up? You haven't even started yet. Look, you're there.
We're talking about resolutions. New Year's? We're talking about screens, resolutions, New Year's. I get it.
You got there. This is word association, correct?
Talking about the New Year resolution. So mine was to find a new co-host and friend. Oh, we're not supposed to say what our
never gonna
resolutions
happen. It's never gonna happen.
We're not supposed. Oh,
because when people meet you, they know. I could never do this.
Oh, boy.
That was my problem. That was actually, it was a childhood ailment. Is that how you say it? I was unable to determine those that I should not be around.
I see.
And so when this blue-eyed bandit came into my life and said, let's go do stupid things, I was all like, this sounds accurate and fun.
He sounds pretty cool.
He sounds like a pretty cool guy.
I wish I would have met that guy. Yeah. Did you meet him before me?
I mean, he's pretty badass.
I'm assuming you met this guy before me. That's a shame. Man, should have stuck with him. Yeah, done fucked up.
No, okay. Today let's just get right into it because it's glaring in my face how I should be following these things, but I'm not.
Lighting.
Almost. I mean, kind of. Yeah. So we're just talking about how much of our life, not just you and I, but pretty much everyone, is wrapped up around tech. So whether or not we're checking, I guess in our old age, LinkedIn.
Yeah, hold on a second. I just gotta.
You gotta check your iPad.
Watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no,
or your watch now.
Yeah, just got something on my watch.
Yeah, like what? I don't know what other social media things. Other people, there's X, previously known as Twitter, the prince of of social medias. Who knows? Whether or not we're answering work emails after hours. That's what you and I tend to do.
Never.
Strictly. Never.
8-hour day. Perfect. Never lead into.
Whether or not we're gaming for relaxation and or in your case, your 4-hour escapades on the toilet.
What?
I don't know.
I don't game for a 4-hour escapade on a toilet.
How many hours?
On a toilet?
Yeah.
That would talk about causing hemorrhoids. What the? Prolapsed anus. You wouldn't ever want to sit for 4 hours on a toilet.
Man.
That's absurd.
But yeah.
30 minutes before things start falling out.
What the shit? Quite literally.
Yeah. I was like, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. So just we as humans now have this weird thing where we either need to learn to balance our life in tech, not learn to balance our life in tech, or get rid of all tech. I guess those are the extremes, right? But as I thought about this the past few months, I realized even when I'm relaxing, I'm using technology. It's insane.
Like listening to music?
Yeah, if I listen to music,
yep.
I'm using my phone or something. If I want to just unwind on the couch, I think I talked about this last episode or the episode before where I said if I'm unwinding on the couch. Oh yeah, it was last episode for the Joys. I'm sitting on the couch and I have something on in the background. Why do I have to have something on in the background, right? Like,
yeah,
I remember like my parents, like they would go out and like sit. Like my dad, for example, had like this little fire pit in the backyard or whatever. I remember him making like he literally like cut it all out and put furniture around it and put brick down and everything else. And I remember that being such a big deal. I couldn't even imagine.
Wait, when you say he did that, he had people come over and do that?
No, obviously not my dad. He did it himself.
I don't.
Yeah, we don't understand that concept. No, but
can't grab that.
But yeah, like that was a thing, and I realized I wouldn't even think of doing that. If I did that, it would be like just as another way of like I'd make sure I put a TV out there or something. Like it'd be ridiculous the way I think of things.
Yeah.
Like every room larger than 10 by 10 in this house, I think has a television in it. That's ridiculous. If I go to a space that doesn't, I happen to have an iPad or a watch, or my phone is constantly on me, even in the house. And I don't get it. I don't understand why. Because I'm not the type that will sit and like doom scroll social or get on TikTok or do any of those things. But for some reason, I still have to have my phone by me.
Yeah, I do the same. I actually like to nerd out and go on Duolingo, trying to learn my German.
Yeah, so it's just this constant connection, right? Like sometimes I don't even realize why I need it. I take a shower, I put music on. But like what's wrong with like I think of all the conversations like when I was younger, even when the kids were younger and like the phones were more of a pain in the ass, right? Before iPhone, because the kids, Taylor and Braden were around before iPhone really was a thing. So we still had shitty screens.
Yeah.
And it was a situation where like we talked more in the car even. Like when we were in the car, it was like, how's your day? How's this? How's that? And now, Eiley has her iPad or even the thing on the back of the chairs. So if she wants to watch Ponyo or a movie, she can do that. It's just a really weird thing the more I thought about it. It became very normal, but it's like as I sat and thought about it, especially around this episode, I realized it's just weird.
Yeah, and when you talk about technology, you talk about the phone, the iPad, all that stuff, and then you brought up the cars, and that's when I started thinking, oh my God, I know you don't drive very much, but you are a rider often. You'll still mess around with the tech that's in the car. But for me, from the driver's standpoint, like I'm constantly using the tech, like the auto drive in the cars, like setting that up, and I can't live without that now. if I try to drive myself now, it's people are like, what are you doing? I was like, I don't know why I'm steering all weird. Like it normally does this for me.
Is that how you steer, Jay?
Yeah.
I love how you came up for it too. Like
I
the
don't
wheel,
know why
like,
that's happening.
Like it's a huge tractor you're sitting at.
Well, that's what I use the auto drive in.
Oh, okay.
GPS navigation satellite.
That makes a lot of sense.
For my massive field in the back, my 0.1 acre. But yeah, it really is. It's like technology has creeped into everywhere, and I struggle a little bit without it now because I think we have kind of become dependent upon it.
Yeah. And, I think the first time I made this observation was GPS. When I realized...
GPS or sat nav?
Doesn't matter. Point is, when I realized everywhere we went, even if it was down the road, we were still putting it into GPS, blew my mind. Like, how do we not know the area we're in that we need to put a GPS or put in an address and get maps for something that's less than 3 miles away?
I actually thought about that the other day when I put something in, and I've been to this location 4 times already.
Yeah.
And I still put it in the GPS, and I was like, wait, how do I not know how to get there? Why is that information not retained? It doesn't make sense. Whereas before, it used to be, you pull out a map. If you had to get somewhere, you drive there once, and then you'd be like, I got it. I know how to do it from now on.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, because I remember driving to you from Ohio to Baltimore, and we didn't have...
Oh yeah, it's like it was broad strokes. It was like 75 to this, to that, to that, to 90 down, and then you're there.
The very first time I did it, I had to have a map to get me there. And after that, I was like, I know exactly how to do it.
And so it makes me wonder, like, is it opening up space for other things? Or is it just making us so lazy? You know what I mean? This is a very boomer conversation. I actually love it.
Yeah, no, that is a good, I don't know. Like, what are we talking about?
Exactly. Old men. Like, for example, Leah and I talked the other day, and Eiley is extremely proficient on an iPad. And she's extremely proficient on a computer, the way she uses keyboard, mouse, all of that. She's 7 years old. And the idea that, like, we want her to have that, I guess, literacy or those capabilities and that knowledge around these things. But then we're constantly trying to decide, like, how do we balance it? Like, is it too much? And if we don't let her have it, does she then not learn how to use the technology that's going to be so prominent in her adult life? Right? Like, she knows how to troubleshoot VR headsets. She knows, like, she can take most of the electronics in this house and troubleshoot them. And to me, that's a skill that I would want her to have. But at what cost? And I don't know what those costs are. And everyone talks about what those costs are now. But at the same time, it was like when sitting too close to the television would make you blind, right? Like, how much of it is that?
Yeah.
And how much of it is actually going to cause problems?
Yeah. My mom she's an occupational therapist, and she's very big into, obviously different generation than us, and different, we're a different generation than our kids. But with my little one, she's very much keep the screens away, don't need the screens. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. I get it. She's not even a year yet, but it's like, when do I introduce that so that she does start to get proficient? Because I don't want her to be behind in that, like you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, I want her to be able to troubleshoot.
It's almost a requirement in schools now. They either all have laptops or they get some sort of devices. So are we wanting them to learn that there, or should they know how to be proficient in that so that's not a barrier for their learning?
Yeah, because the last thing you want is, hey, we're going to do English now. And they're like, but how do I turn on my computer? Or how do I turn on my typing, tablet? Right?
Like, not understanding typing if you have to type.
Yeah. And so I want to get into it as early as I can, but I'm trying to find that balance of, I also don't want her to, while her brain is doing the early development, to become addicted to electronic stuff. So, it's like, what do you where is that balance, and how do you do that? So it is a tough one.
So, I mean, do you have anything that you do to, like, break the cycle and unplug?
Yeah. And it's one of the things that frustrates the crap out of you. I put my stuff on Do Not Disturb, and I throw it in a drawer, and then I walk away.
That's so weird. I hate you.
And then you say, I tried to call you 3 times. And I go, I didn't have my phone with me. So
even now, I think it's asinine.
Yeah, even during this conversation of saying
I'm
we should
physically
step
angry
away.
that you even say that out loud.
But the sad part is it's not all the time. It's usually when I'm just over it and I need to sleep or I need to focus on something. And also when I'm cooking, electronics really, they're not around me. I don't need them. So they're not around.
Unless you do it differently when I'm there, you always have the TV on.
Oh, the TV. Okay, yeah, the
That's what I'm
TV's
saying.
on.
So there's a thing where you always just have like the news in the background. Or it's always got to be this background thing, and I'm starting to become hyper aware of it, and I'm like, it's annoying me almost.
Well, I guess to that point, then the only time that I ever do that is I will I'll leave my phone here at the house, and then we'll go for a walk with the little one. We'll go walk around the neighborhood.
But you still have your watch usually. I had never seen you without your watch in that case. Whether or not you're using it's another thing, but
yeah, I usually I mean I don't know if it counts to track health and steps and stuff, but
but that's also got to be relatively new because I've called you when you're on those walks, and I remember making fun of you for being outside. Like, why would you go on a walk?
Sometimes I bring it with me. What I'm saying is sometimes I leave it, and so it's occasional. It's not every time, but that would be the only time that I do it. Is I'll leave it at the house and I just won't take it with me, and we'll go for the walk. And I've only recently started wearing my watch again. I had it for probably a couple of weeks. I just didn't wear the watch.
Yeah.
And so I don't know.
Yeah, like I don't have it on right now. Do you have yours on?
I do right now. I just put it on, but it's starting to annoy me. I don't know. And with the whole new watch that came out, the Ultra 2 Special Black Edition or whatever it is that they're trying to get people with, they haven't changed anything. They just made a different color case.
I have to have it. Shut up. Take my money.
I was like, I don't know if I'm even going to go with it. But I don't know.
There's no reason to, in my opinion, there's this thing, the Ultra 2 is amazing. There's no reason to upgrade. Oh, you have the Ultra. That's right. You didn't get the Ultra 2. Yeah,
I don't have the Ultra 2. So maybe I will go with the Ultra 2 Special Black Edition, or maybe I'll wait for the Ultra 3 that's going to be
Well, then I have to have the Special Black Edition because I got to keep up with the Corpies.
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I started thinking about it. And
well, I guess when do you ever shut? I don't think I've ever seen you shut off.
I talked about it with Leah the other night when we were supposed to record a couple days ago. And the topic was killing her. She had to know what the topic was. So I sat and talked with her about it. And it's like, oh my gosh, quit begging.
Why didn't you? I don't understand. Like, I do that and you don't tell me.
Oh, I mean, I like her.
Oh my God.
So anyway,
I see what's happening.
No, we were talking about it and it made me so at first she got super judgmental because she thought I was coming at it from an angle of like, I had a solution. And she looked at me like, motherfucker, you're always around electronics. Like, you don't walk away from electronics ever. I was like, that's the point. Like, I'm not saying I figured it out, but it was so funny to like see her visceral response to like her thinking that I was all like, oh yeah, I detox. No, I don't. Legitimately, I cannot look at a single time throughout this entire 2024 year where I have been more than 5 feet away from an active device. I could not figure out a time when I was away, even when Elliot was born.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. So like these whole like no phone zones, or my favorite ones are the mindfulness apps. Yes, the apps that you have to use to get away from electronics. Like, excuse me? So I have to use electronics to get away from electronics. That doesn't count. Nice try. But yeah, so, so to truly get away, to truly not need anything around you, like, I know my dad does it. Like, when he goes hunting, there's not a single thing on him that is battery powered.
Yeah.
And so, like, what does it mean to do that? I can't really remember a time in my adult life, because when I was younger, I would go camping and stuff like that. But my adult, like, I think even if I went camping now, I'd have to have some way to plug in. I'd use my van because it has the, I can plug something into it. Like, I don't think I would actually.
So you wouldn't go camping. You'd probably do the glamping.
Yeah, I think they call it, like glamour camping or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the idea is like why is that a thing? I still don't get why it became so all-consuming for people, me included. Like, I'm not judging people because I'm probably one of the worst, and it just makes me wonder. And I honestly, like, this episode has made me think, like, I want to try something. I want to try, like, how do I strip a room of all of its electronics? And it's funny because I talked to Taylor about this when she was setting up her apartment. I said, look, in your room, don't put a television. Don't put anything, like, don't do digital stuff. Like, it is a space for you to go and, like, read a physical book. Like, don't bring your iPad in there. Don't do those things. And I didn't think she would listen. And it's funny because she said, I did that. And apparently it's improved some things, or it's been really cool for it. It made me think of, like, why don't I start listening to my own advice?
Yeah.
And so I was on the couch and I fell asleep watching some Twitch. And then I went to bed. And when I woke up, I literally just sat up into my seat and started watching stuff and talking with Leah again. So I was in a situation where I straight up woke up, sat up in the same exact spot, and started getting back to electronics, knowing full well that this episode was coming too, like, that I was going to be giving myself shit about it probably. But yeah, it blew my mind. But yeah, so, like, thinking through your house. In fact, let me walk through your house. Yep, I can pretty confidently say that there's not a single place in your house that's more than 10 feet away from an electronic device.
Dining room.
Not true.
Okay.
I mean, like, your dining room, I guess if I'm no matter where I stand in your dining room, I'm right next to your kitchen. I'm less than 10 feet away.
What's the electronic device?
Your show is right there in the corner.
Oh, that damn show. Okay.
I'm moving the show now.
Yeah, it's gone. It's out of there. It's out of there. They got me.
But yeah, your dining room's not bad. But yeah, like, all the rooms either have a television in it or like, even in the basement, like, it's all electronic equipment. You're not doing just dumbbells. You have your Pelotons and all those things.
Yep. And it's got the TV down there.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about the television. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfinished basement with a TV, Peloton.
Like, look how we look, like, as humans prioritize things. It just blows my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, but I will say this.
Say it.
You and your family do things that, like, we don't do. Like, you use your outdoor space. So I would say that when you go outdoors, unless you have your phone or something on you, you're away from those things. Like, you actually walk in your grass.
Yeah.
Which is just
But typically
weird.
my phone's in my pocket.
Just weird.
Grass? What is this?
But yeah, so, like, I'm trying to figure out what room I would do. Because, like, we have a dining room. That dining room got turned into a double office for the kids. And it's never been a dining room, by the way. It's always been an office. I have a room for electronics, literally called, like, the hackerspace. Has everything you can imagine. Taylor's old room got turned into Leah's office because this one has 3 or 4 desks in it that I, expanded into. Eileen's room. Nope. Eileen's room has technically a show. I get rid of that, but that'd be weird for everyone to always hang out in Eileen's room. Our bedroom, our living room.
I was gonna say, like, can't even, like, bathroom has the electric toothbrushes.
Oh, I don't know if I count that.
Why not? It's electronic.
It is electronic.
And it tracks, it's got the screens on it.
Yeah, it does that and connects to your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
mine's
I more
not
mean,
connected,
like,
but
where can you just go and sit? And unless you have the urge or the need to brush your teeth, like, where would you go and sit and just be away from things? And I don't, it would be hard for me to do.
Yeah, for me it would be outside. Or I would go down to the basement on the other side where the wine racks are, and just sit there and read wine labels.
But you have no space right now. Like, it's completely packed.
It is. Yeah.
It's not like you have a sitting room or anything. It's a storage area with. So it's it becomes this really weird thing where when I started thinking about this episode and I started going, well, how would I even solve this or even test this out for myself? I'd have to be okay with things being powered down. And then from there, I'd have to figure out how, and I even thought about this when I was like, oh, I already messed up. I already messed up in thinking about how to solve the problem because I was like, well, I have to have some sort of timer that like lets me know I'm done. I was like, why do I have to have that? Why do I need to like set an alarm? Like, even if it's in the other room, I'll have like, you know, one of my Echoes or something setting a timer that lets me know in the kitchen. Who knows?
Your non-device time is up. Please come and play with us again.
Yeah. Like we have some mechanical timers that we got for Eiley that were just cool. Mm-hmm. I have some Steam timer. Like I have some different things that are like cheats, but in the end, it's like I started thinking, okay, so what if I just start shutting off like one night a week, let's say a Wednesday, who knows? And once one of my electronics tells me that it's like 11 o'clock at night, I turn everything off around me, put everything away, turn off all notifications, and then just sit there and do something physical, either play a board game with the kids or just sit and talk with Leah, do tummy time for hours. I don't know. And I don't mean me tummy time. And I don't mean patting on my belly. I mean playing with Elliot tummy time.
Go outside?
No. That's weird.
Oh, okay. Outside.
Don't be silly.
You would play with your own tummy.
I'm trying to do this realistic, Jake. I mean, come on.
Okay.
I'm trying to be real here. But then the idea is just that I don't do anything until like in the morning, like when I get back up for work. The nice thing is I've been naturally waking up like at 7 or 8 latest. So I don't need an alarm really, which is good for this experiment, I guess. But I do know that if I don't consciously make this decision to do this on a Wednesday, that I go to bed 5 o'clock. I get up 4 hours later, so usually 8, 9. And in the middle of the night, I may wake up once or twice and be like, why did I wake up? Oh, maybe I got an email. Like, why am I doing that?
Yeah.
Like, let me just see if nope, no important emails. Sweet. And then I try and fall back asleep and I go from there. So I don't know. I wonder what that would do.
If you shut off.
If I just literally got everything out of there.
If you went off the grid for one day.
Be careful.
No. Is that a little
I don't know if I'd find my way back to the grid.
That's true. I
would need GPS probably.
Yeah. I don't know. How do I get to
my living room? This is insane.
I can't even get to off the grid.
Yeah. It doesn't show up on my device. Oh my goodness.
I don't know. I mean, I get what you're saying. I know there's some people out there that do it. I don't know if really it's possible. I guess maybe for one night a week. Sure, that's possible. But I don't know how possible it is to do that and still stay relevant in the technology world. Because that's what it is right now. I mean, you have a whole other podcast just talking about AI and what it's doing and how it's starting to control things. So on your podcast, AI Explored, please go to humanguide2.ai to find out more. But I think that was
a shameless plug. Is that what they call those?
What? No, it's fine because I did it for you.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, on that podcast, you talk about how technology and AI is integrating to hopefully make lives better. And would you set AI up to do things for you while you were,
stop it, because that's where my mind was going. I was all like, well, maybe I just completely set aside like electronics, but I have my electronics do the work for me in the background.
Yeah. It's like, well, during this time, what I would do is I would research this and that. So
set up an agent.
I'll have
to do that
AI do that so I can shut down and then give me a full report in the morning. I mean, maybe that is the way.
I'm about to say that doesn't sound like a bad problem, but no, I don't know. I mean, have you had in recent time, because you travel more than I do. So in recent time, have you maybe in travel and or just what is the longest you think you've quote unquote detoxed or disconnected or whatever?
Oh, travel's even worse. I have to have, like, when I drive, obviously I've got all the electronics of the car and everything there that I'm using. I love being able to talk to the car, hey car, why don't you do this for me? And it's like, oh, sure, I'll do that. I need my heads up display setting changed. I'll open that for you. I'm like, thanks. So I have that there. If I'm flying, I have to have headphones. I can't sleep when I fly, so I have to listen to podcasts, typically something like AI Explored or Beard and The Bowtie. Those are my two go-tos that I like to listen to. I have heard of some really good leadership ones that are coming out pretty soon. That, like maybe a leadership mindset thing or something. But I have to have something going that I'm listening to. So I've got those electronics, and then I use, my phone when I get there to get the Uber, and then I'm tracking my ride as I'm in the ride. It's like I'm in the car. I
failed. I thought that maybe when you got to the destination, you were like, screw it.
No. And then I'm trying to think. And then when I get to the hotel, I'm usually, FaceTiming family and so no, like travel's even worse. Yeah. Cause then when we go to events, I'm using it, to collect people's information as we're, sharing info and here's my number and let's stay in touch and making reservations for restaurants. So yeah, it's even worse. So yeah, that's a big fail, I think. Not
thanks.
No, not. I'm not saying it in a bad way, but like when you started to say it, I was like, oh yeah, definitely. When I travel, I shut down. But I just realized it's significantly more. At least here, I'm able to throw things in a drawer, go for a walk around the neighborhood for 30 minutes, and be without anything. But I don't even do that when I'm away. Like I have to have electronics near me in case something's happening at home. What if I got to try and find a quick flight to get back? Or a rental car or whatever. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So
the more you think about it, the more you're like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's what's been happening in the last few weeks is like really like, I legitimately don't. Like, even when I think I do, if I'm honest with myself, I'm like, no, like I have something right there. Like just because I set it aside doesn't mean my mind doesn't know that it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to know I kind of want to know the feeling of like, I legitimately don't have access to anything that's a comfort thing and I'm okay with it. And I'm all like, you know what? I can't do it anyway. I'm going to chill and I'm just going to relax.
I think the last time that you and I were in that situation, I ended up with a 98% pneumo. We had no electronics. All we had were the dirt bikes.
That's true. And, that's true.
Nothing telling us what we were doing.
You were bad at math then too.
I know. I started out with like a 94% and I was bad at math because it was 98% pneumo.
Oh, you kill me.
No, you tried to kill me, but that's fine.
That's right. Yeah. So I don't know. It's a little crazy to think about. So then if we can't completely, like I legitimately am going to try to get rid of everything for an extended period of time, not like a half-hour walk. I want to try and go like
are you talking about in a single room?
Who knows? I just want to personally try and be like, hey, for the next 24 hours, the world outside of the people right around me won't be able to reach me.
Yeah.
And see how anxious I get. I'm most likely, especially the first time, I feel like I'll feel anxious, like I'm letting everyone down, and work is gonna explode, and you're gonna hate me, and I don't know what my mind will do, but to be fair, you already hate me, so
yeah. I mean, no, absolutely not. No, I see what you're saying, but like that. I mean, even for the 30 minutes, like when I do set it down and go around the neighborhood, or an hour or whatever it is, I do get a little anxious. I'm like, what am I missing? Like, what am I going to come back to like 900 messages about something? And then I have to remind myself, if I do, who cares?
Yeah.
And I know it's only 30 minutes to an hour, but then it seems like it's a small deal. But that's one of those things where I think I would love to try and do it for a day. I don't know if I could.
No, I'm just thinking about it.
I really don't.
My mind legitimately was like, do I say this out loud?
Good.
Because I was like, we have to sync our times, so it's not a big deal. Like, yeah. Okay, we're going to both choose the same day.
The same day, same time.
So that we know.
Okay, here's the deal.
Because God forbid it become inconvenient for me that you're unavailable and vice versa.
Hey, listen, at midnight 01 on the 24th, we're going to call each other and then we'll shut down at midnight 02
and that's goodness. It. No, you hang up.
No, you hang up.
No, you hang up.
No, you hang up first.
Did you hang up? Did you? Are you still there? Oh my God, the memories. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get away from it sometimes.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah. So at this point, you know, if you can't go long periods of time, I guess the next thing would be finding those balances. Like you found like a 30-minute walk concept. So like, how do you start setting boundaries? Like, how do you?
I was just thinking about, I was going to say, why don't you try to gradually go into it? And then I was like, oh wait, now I'm talking to Jeremy. It's on or off. It's all or nothing. There is no, I can do 30 minutes and build up to 2 hours. I'm going to do an entire week.
Yeah.
Like what?
I no longer use electronics.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm completely dependent and addicted on these. And now I'm done with them. They're gone.
Yeah. That is the unfortunate truth of me. But, but how do you find balance, right? Like, how do we go, okay, we're intentional with what we decide to do. So if we're looking at it, it's because it serves this purpose, not because we're bored and we want to look up a video on something we've been curious about, but it's something for right now that's necessary.
Oh yeah.
Like, how do we start being intentional with our decisions around screens? How do we start, using it to enhance rather than step away from reality? What sort of things could we do?
I think the difficult part about that is one of the points that you just brought up there is, you know, how do I not look something up in like a video of something I want to learn? And it is one of those things where you're just kind of sitting there and you see something or something pops in your head and you go, oh, I wonder how this happens, or I wonder how that's done, or why is this like that? Or who did this person do whatever to, you know, and you're like, is this person in jail or whatever? And so you immediately go and look it up. If you're doing a 24-hour detox, do you carry a notebook around? And when you have those ideas, you write them down so you can look them up later? Or do you just let them nag and persist? And then when you do get back on the electronics, you go, oh shit, what was it that I was trying to learn? If you don't write it down, have electronics turn that short memory or short time period into really just short-term memory that you don't care about. You know, like you just lose
I see
it.
what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it seems like a big deal. We have the ability to look it up, but maybe the next day, if we don't get to look it up, who cares?
Yeah, because and you're like, what was it that I was going to look up? And you're like, it doesn't matter. Does that continue to nag on you? Or again, during your detox time, you carry around a notebook and you start writing down your little, you know, oh, I want to learn about Jeremy's beard care. Let me write that down and look it up.
Well, so I thought you were going someplace else, and it got me thinking about things, but I was meaning, like, to me, it seems like it just kills discovery. Because if we're like, how is that made concept, or, you know, how does this thing work? And we look it up, we have no reason to try and figure it out. We have no reason to like break it down or attempt to maybe do an experiment at the house. It's just, how do we get a stain out of a carpet? Let me look it up. Okay, vinegar, this and this. Cool. Like,
yeah, but that also does save many a carpets, because the last thing you want to do is experiment with the carpet and then go, ooh, that was a bad idea. I guess I don't pour Coca-Cola on that spot.
Yeah, but the point is, though, the ants. That's how you get ants. Do you want ants? That's how you get ants.
That's what I'm saying, you know, but it takes rust off of bumpers. So does it get stains out of rugs? I don't know. You know, maybe I would try that if I'm not able to look it up.
The point is like, we lose this sort of creative discovery if we just always have the answer. Even if it's the wrong answer, we think it's the right answer. That's the funny part. That's the whole like WebMD concept, right?
Oh, don't get me going on the WebMD concept, please.
I know, right? But yeah, so it's finding the balance, it's understanding what you lose or what you gain. And then only doing it if it's absolutely necessary. So it's a numbers game. Like maybe I won't take a shower and listen to music today. What's that? Maybe I'll discover something or solve a problem. Because that's usually when I do most of my thinking anyway, but I can do it with the music on. But maybe if I do it without the music on, I'm thinking about other less external resources and more internal. I'm internalizing more. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, I will tell you on that, like I don't have electronics going when I'm in the bathroom taking a shower or whatever. I will just, and Taylor came over and she used our shower, the upstairs shower, because my mother-in-law was in the downstairs bedroom. And so, and Taylor was here, she goes, "That's the greatest shower I've ever had because you can just shut off." And you can look out into the yard, out in the backyard and stuff. No one can see you. Windows are tinted, all that. But you can just stand in the shower and just like veg out and just escape the world and just stare outside. And that's a lot of times when I take the long showers, that's what I'm just standing there thinking, because I have no electronics, I have no music, no nothing. Although I do have speakers in the bathroom and all the other stuff. I won't turn them on. I'll just sit there and just do nothing. And Taylor, Taylor came downstairs and she goes, "That was the best shower I've had in years." And I think that goes kind of back to your concept of the don't have electronics in your room, just read a book. She was able to just go in there and just shut down and just stare out the window, and nothing mattered, Yeah. So I think to your point, maybe doing that, maybe do your showers with nothing.
Yeah. I mean, there's got to be something to it, right? Like, got to be something to just reflecting about your life, reflecting about the things around you, turning off the noise, whatever the phrase might be. But I don't know.
I think that was in a movie, baseball movie, Kill the Noise or something. I
don't know.
He was a pitcher and there was a lot of noise and he would just block it out.
42? I don't know. Who knows?
I could look it up. You want me to look it up?
No.
Or does that defeat the whole purpose here?
Let's not get on another screen to look it up.
Okay.
We'll let that one just ride.
Oh, it's killing me. I'm going to look it up after this. Damn it.
But anyway, so, so what are the benefits of disconnecting, right? So like, kind of wanted to go out thinking about, like, do we become more creative? Do we start solving more problems? Or does our house burn down because we didn't look up how to stop an oil fire? Who knows? Like,
yeah, which everybody knows you use baking soda and then put a lid on it.
And now you know.
Now you know. And you had to listen to your electronics to figure that out.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. We're not recommending everybody stop their electronics because we'd love for you to listen to this podcast and continue to. No, is that not? Okay. I think you'd probably start getting better connections to the people around you, the people that you care about.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
I think that, they'd be more genuine instead of just the, we went to dinner last night. So that is another thing that I do is when we have our date nights and we go to dinner, we don't bring, we bring our phones with us, but we don't bring them out while we're eating. And we just sit there and we talk to each other and we hang out and enjoy each other's company. And so that's another time that we do that. And that's usually a couple of hours, which is nice. So, but I did catch myself, she got up to use the restroom. I immediately went to my phone. I was like, I don't know what to do in this empty period of time.
My hands.
Yeah. I had no one to talk to. So I pulled my phone out and then I was like, I don't even know what I'm going to look up. And so I put it away and then I started staring in the kitchen to watch the action that was going on. So
yeah, like what do we miss around us, right? When we're all looking down, what's happening around us? That's fantastic. I actually just envisioned like a flash mob that would wait till a bunch of people are looking around, do a micro flash something just so utterly amazing that lasts like a second and a half to 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And then just walk away. And then people like looking up, like, what's everyone, like the few people that noticed, what I miss, right? And just like, you're missing a lot around you.
Almost impossible to get recorded. Like
Yeah.
nobody could record it because it's so quick.
Yeah, it's just people. People talking about it. Like it only
Yeah.
is happening, and it's just all the people that don't get to see it because they were doing something. Probably.
I guess how many people do you have to have for a flash mob? Could we do that with just the two of us, or
Well, see, here's the
Is
thing. It has to be
is
interesting.
that not a flash mob at that point? Oh, and it
It
has to be
has to be
interesting.
interesting,
Okay.
and that's
Okay,
where we
all right.
are going to
Well,
fail immediately.
Okay, disregard then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know. I often think like on times where I binge watch a show, what else would I have done? Right?
Binge watch a different show.
Binge watch a different show, obviously. Come on, Jay. That was supposed to be rhetorical. No, but even if it's another electronic, like that maybe is more creative. Like instead of binge watching a show, I create a piece of content. Or instead of binge watching a show and creating a piece of content, I write a piece of software that helps Eiley learn something.
Yeah.
Like she's wanting to code, right? So she's like, I want to code something that goes out and people get to use. That's her thing right now.
Or are you in Ableton making music?
Yeah, I have my instruments I haven't picked up in so long for the purpose of entertaining anyone other than myself. So like, yeah, there's just so many things like, I have a garage worth of tools that I haven't used. I remember Taylor wanted to make a ring. And so I went down this whole thing and I got all the equipment to make a ring out of a coin. So I have like everything I would need to punch it, to everything. And then it's like when she was done and or wasn't interested anymore, now it's just sitting on my workbench out there.
Yeah.
So like going off and building something creative, like what are we missing out on? And I think the biggest question is how do we get to it? How do we get back to doing something like that? For me, at least.
Yeah, I remember. I guess yes, I had the TV on in the background when I'm doing the cooking, but that's kind of my escape. There is from the electronics world, and I remember when you were really into the woodworking, and you would just go out in the garage and couldn't get hold of you. You were making pens, and you were turning pens in different wood with this feature and that feature, and I messed this one up, so let me try this, and that one worked really well because I added some epoxy to this, and I remember all those. And then you do the cutting boards and everything else, and which you still owe me that really amazing cutting board.
You broke up a little bit. What'd you say?
Oh, you still owe me that really amazing cutting board.
I stopped listening to you. What'd you say?
You still owe me that really amazing cutting board. I'll keep going. I'm fine. That's up to you. Like we can keep doing this because you still owe me that really amazing cutting board. But I do remember how much you enjoyed that, and it was impossible to get a hold of you. But that was your zen place, your fun spot.
Yeah. Well,
and now
only Leah knows about that.
Okay. Different fun spot, I guess.
Oh, that's not what you were talking about.
No, okay. I wasn't talking about your tummy time.
What? Bringing it back. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Well, do you have anything to go out on?
I don't. I mean, I was like, this is going to be a terrible, terrible episode talking about electronics. I was like, this is going to be so boring. And now I just can't stop thinking about, oh shit, everything I do involves electronics, and how do I get rid of it? So thank you.
I've doom scrolled your life.
Yes, thank you for destroying everything there. Yeah, yes, I cannot get over it now.
Ironically, I wanted to ask, do you want to play some games after this?
No, I'm stepping away from electronics.
Like, no, I'm not going to now.
Forever. I'm actually throwing all of this. I'm not even going to be able to edit this episode. I'm throwing everything away. Oh, wait. Actually, if that's for creative purposes, maybe I'm allowed to use it. I don't know. What are the rules? I don't know the rules anymore.
See, that's the thing. There are no rules. We're
okay.
adults. We make our decisions. We weigh the risks. We weigh the, I guess not weigh the rewards. But yeah, it's, what do we want to be remembered for? What do we want to remember? How do we want the people around us to remember us? I tend to give out good advice apparently, because I remember talking with the kids and telling them, when you have a conversation with someone, put your phone down, face down, away, whatever, and look at them. Like that will go a long way. And I realized I don't necessarily listen to that advice all the time. So I think one thing I need to do is just get away from electronics, grab that notepad and pen, and start writing down the advice I give others and then go, do I listen to myself? Or is this
Yeah.
just niceties that I say that I know are the right things to do, but I don't practice? Do as I say, not as
then-
I do. I got to get rid of that thing.
Yeah, and then create a blog with all those.
Yeah,
things
then
that
I
you've
got
written
to
down.
start a podcast with that.
Yeah,
Then
and then
I hate you so much. Straight to your mind.
yeah, exactly.
Oh man.
Wow. Yeah. I guess. All right. So, what do you want to do? Midnight tonight? We'll call each other and then so we can shut down for the evening. Like, what do you? How do you want to do this? How are we shutting down?
I don't know if I can commit to anything right now.
Or is it too soon to step away?
No, this is just sore. This is scary. Like I said, I've been thinking about this one for a while, and I still have not found a solution. And I just sprung this on you. Don't be trying to find a solution right away. At least not for me. Don't drag me into your craziness.
Exactly. Whoa, slow down.
You're used to walking outside. Let me just get used to that first.
Let me just get used to looking outside the window. Just hold on.
That's true. I don't even like having my blinds open or anything like that.
And you use cameras to look outside.
Well, there's no reason to.
Yeah.
Insane. They make vitamin D pills for a reason, so you don't have to walk outside.
Apparently, yeah. For you, and
science. It's been scienced.
Better living through pharmacology. That's correct.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah, what's up? Good.
Bye.
Oh, we completely derailed to that point already?
Yeah, I'm done.
Bye.
As we wrap up today's journey into balancing tech with life, we want to thank you, our insightful listeners, for tuning into another session of the Beard and the Bowtie. Whether you're seeking to disconnect more or simply find joy in a balanced life, we hope this episode has sparked some new ideas for you to try.
And if today's conversation resonated with you, make sure to follow us and subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Don't just listen, join the dialogue. Find us on social media at Beard Bowtie Show, or check out our website at beardbowtie.show for even more content, tips, and behind-the-scenes looks.
We love hearing from you. Share your stories, tech detox tips, or any questions you'd like us to tackle in future episodes. Your input fuels our discussions and helps us grow as a community.
And for those who want more, join our subscriber base. Get early access to episodes, bonus content, and the occasional exclusive deep dive that you won't find anywhere else. Don't miss out.
Remember, whether you're mastering the art of disconnecting or finding balance in this hyper-connected world, every episode here is a new adventure, full of insights, personal stories, and plenty of laughter.
So, until next time, keep those devices charged, but remember, there's always life outside the screen. I'm Jay, the Bowtie, alongside Jeremy, the Beard, signing off. Always remember, balance isn't about cutting out. It's about finding joy both in and out of the digital world.
You mean beard perspective?
Remember every bowtie perspective. Nope, I meant bowtie perspective. That's what I meant to say.
Team Beard.
Alrighty, then that'll be it. Team Bowtie.